In this case, many telling me they support the mayor because they don't like the alternative.
This is by far the scariest thing I have ever done.
Starting today, you'll notice an ad that compares GOP presidential candidate John McCain to Democrat Barack Obama on energy security. 400 of these pins, that's all that's holding this floor together. In Detroit, Silva Harapetian, Local 4. Can you imagine looking in your rear view mirror and seeing the flashing lights and thinking you've done something wrong, then realizing the man that you just handed your driver's license and registration to is not actually a police officer? The neighbors fighting the city, and it's about this building towering over their neighborhood. They say this fight isn't about their view, it's about their property values. They are firm Christians, and they tell me they find the blessing in every situation, including this one, so they hope the burglars get caught, and they hope to have it all back to normal come Sunday. We're live, Silva Harapetian, Local 4. I'm told this not only creating an attention for the chihuahuas that were found in the house, but also creating an attention for all of the other animals that need a home. And the fact that they're talking about cutting bus service on Sunday and reducing it on Saturday and increasing some of the wait times during the week has a lot of people here who rely on this kind of service very upset. Are you Chris? We tried getting answers after waiting for about 20 minutes. The general manager skipped out the side door.
And you're preventing me from taking care of my guests.
Oh, I don't think so.
Wait for another 3 minutes?
Your guests have been waiting for 3.5 days to talk to you.
I've been talking to them. Have a nice day.
Yeah, but you made me chase you down the street to have a conversation with you. It's unclear at this point if the driver even knew what happened, but police think that he may have because of the impact of that crash. All of this happening in Dearborn. They are now looking for the driver, and you obviously can help find him. It's a bit windy, so this camera moves a little bit, but I couldn't resist. I had to show you an eagle eye of how big this court was going to be. Water Polo 101. Before we get to the training and the rules, there is one thing you need to know about water polo, and that is the sport is played in deep water. You know, Steve, I have a confession to make. Are you ready? I have not even started mine. How about that?
Silva!
I know. We're in Oak Park at Kmart.
U.S. and Canada were flying over the border today, talking with CBP Air and Marine Branch.
This is the yellow lot. This is what all of the other parking lots here at the airport look like. And we're in southern Wayne County, about 30 minutes outside of Detroit. It is cold, it is snowy, and it is windy. How are you keeping warm?
Well, back and squeeze us.
See, I get a hug along with the story. And this has definitely created some great attention for Metro Detroit. We're live, Silva Harapetian, Local 4.
You were kind of giddy when you got that story assignment this morning, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Pull yourself together, woman.
I know.
Silva, where are your gloves this morning?
I know. I've got one in my pocket. I have to show you. I've got one in the pocket, and the other one is in the front seat of the car. So this report was a little bit more important than the gloves, but the next one, I promise.
Your mom called in, so I just wanted to pass it along.
Yeah, and she's sending mitten clips, okay? So that you keep those two together.
The accident in Ohio involving the fishermen, well, Macomb County Sheriff's Department is putting out a warning, in fact, telling everybody to be aware because the weather is going to get warm. In fact, they have told us they're going to put us in the water and show us how to survive in case of an emergency. So we're going to get suited up. Come on in.
Point your toe like this, and you're going to push it down into the boot.
This is heavy. We lose body heat a lot faster in the water.
25 times faster. Like your expected time to survival is somewhere between 12 to 15 hours.
After getting off the ladder, walking slowly on the ice, the lieutenant tells me, if you fall through, don't panic. You can see my hesitation.
This is by far the scariest thing I have ever done.
Okay, how do you get up?
Let the air out of it.
How cold is this water?
It's about 30 degrees.
30 degrees?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right? I'm going to show you how.
How?
What you do is...
Because I'm sliding and slipping and this ice is breaking. I have no help. I'm connected, just in case, but they're not helping me get out, so I'm going to see if we can do it myself.
There you go.
After a few minutes, panic sets in. I realize if this were a real situation, if this were happening for real, I would not be able to pull myself out.
That's when I was introduced to something that's known as the fisherman's rosary. It can be practically anything that's sharp. Fishermen usually hang it around their neck. In life-threatening moments like this one, the fisherman's rosary is there and my only hope.
This is a controlled environment. In case something were to happen, I can get pulled out. Fishermen out there, if you don't have one of these, even though you're in shallow water,
Your extremities would just shut down. Your body would shut down, your blood going to your extremities to keep your vital organs warm, so your hands and feet would be useless.
so you can't really kick the way I needed to kick to get out.
Not if your feet were hypothermia.
Wow, what an experience. I gotta tell you, there was a moment of sheer panic there where I couldn't pull myself out. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You know, I learned something very important today. No fish caught on the ice is ever worth going through that experience in real life. Believe me, you don't want to experience it, and I had professionals around me, so very important lesson. Okay, let's go home.
He was a wonderful boy.
A mother remembering her oldest son, 19-year-old Dan Broughton, the driver of the 2004 Ford Fusion, involved in the Amtrak crash in Canton Township. She says Dan took her car yesterday, left at about noon to drop off his friends, and never came home.
It still hasn't sunk in what's happening.
Dan was behind the wheel. His friends, brothers Sean and Terrence Harris, along with Eddie Gross and his girlfriend Jessica Sadler, were killed. Police say Dan tried to beat the train. Dan's mother still trying to make sense of it all.
I don't know why he would try to go around the railroad tracks like that. I have no idea why he would think that he could make it across.
Dan, only 19, a recent high school graduate, an athlete. He loved playing basketball. His family, as are the families of the other victims, trying desperately to hold on to a piece of their loved one.
Yeah, I got his shirt on. I slept in his bed last night, dude. I'm sorry, and I feel the tragedy. And I wish I could tell them in person. But I love their kids just as much as I love mine, just about. They were here all the time. And I'm sorry.
There is no staff at this hotel, no one working. That means there's no water, no one's cleaning the bathrooms. It is getting pretty ugly in there for people who are here for a convention that is supposed to be about their spiritual healing.
Air condition, no TV, you can't get room service, you call the phone, just ring, nobody answers you.
More than 320 guests at the Detroit Riverside Hotel paying more than $100 a night, and they are less than satisfied. All the guests here for the National Baptist Convention, they all have been looking for answers for someone in charge and a refund.
And she said it's going to take a couple of days, but we don't have a couple of days, we don't give cash money. We don't have a couple of days.
The leadership of this hotel, they're not communicating. It does not help the situation.
Guests tell me they've been waiting to speak to the hotel manager for several days. We were told he was in the office, so we wanted answers. After waiting for about 20 minutes, he skipped out the side door. So I think you need to answer some questions. Your guests have been staying here with no air, no towels. Your employees have not been paid, and you have been avoiding everyone, I hear.
I've been avoiding no one.
Well, sir, you skipped out from the side door.
You see the chiller unit here? I'm coming to check on the chiller unit, and you're preventing me from taking care of my guests.
Oh, I don't think so.
Wait for another 3 minutes.
Your guests have been waiting for 3.5 days to talk to you.
I've been talking to them. Have a nice day.
Yeah, but you made me chase you down the street to have a conversation with you. Only after we chased the general manager down the street did he meet with his guests. Even then, it was not a pleasant meeting.
Okay, if you would like me to get the refunds processed for you people, I have to...
Don't call us you people. Don't say you people.
For your group.
Don't say you people.
For
Do not
our guests.
ever say you people. You Get it off.
Ma'am, I think you need a few minutes, okay?
No, you need to get out there and deal with this situation.
And back here live at last check, 175 people through the convention have been placed in other hotels. The rest of the people are staying here for the inconvenience. The hotel is issuing only one night credit. As for the employees are concerned, some have not been paid since May. I'm told they were given one paycheck today. We're live in Detroit. Silva Harapetian, back to you.
Silva, this is the kind of thing that can very quickly become a national nightmare in terms of public relations. Is the city saying anything about this?
Yeah, you know, the Detroit's mayor's office has been here. In fact, they contacted some restaurants around town and brought in food yesterday. The Visitors Bureau brought in water. In fact, I have a statement from the city of Detroit. It says the city of Detroit joins the efforts of the Convention Bureau and others to help ensure the comfort of our guests. It is unfortunate that this is happening. It is always our concern that visitors and residents alike have an enjoyable experience in Detroit. Unfortunately, I have to say these guests understand that whatever is going on is with this particular hotel, and it does not reflect on us. Unfortunately,
Sure.
their understanding of that.
Well, I hope we can make them a little more comfortable. Thank you, Silva. Silva Harapetian reporting live.
Rhonda, I'll let you hear that conversation in just a moment, but let me set this up for you. We're talking about the 25th. That's when police took that 9-month-old away. Today, the 28th, police have yet to hear from this mom for her to know where her baby is. They tell us she has not contacted them yet. Well, we spoke to her today. She did not want her face shown on television, but listen to what she says happened and what she's been doing since.
I lost my keys to my apartment, and I went to my friend's house to go look for my keys, and I wasn't gone for that long like they said. I was only gone, well, maybe it was a long time because I was looking for the key, but it was like probably like, I thought it was like 20 minutes, but it's probably more like close to 45 minutes.
So let me understand this correctly. You lost your key to your apartment, and you left the door open with your baby inside to go?
Yeah, because she was sleeping when I left. I know I'm a young first mother, and that was the stupidest mistake the most dumb mistake I ever made in my life.
Why didn't you call somebody?
I don't have a phone. So
why didn't you ask one of your neighbors to watch your baby?
Because I don't even know any of my neighbors, and I just thought I would honestly, I only thought I would be a minute. Like,
No, why didn't you take your baby with you?
Because she was sleeping and I was dumb. I told her it was the dumbest mistake I've ever made.
So what have you been doing over the weekend until today?
I was really depressed. I was crying and mostly sleeping, so.
You know police are looking for you. What are you going to do?
I was going to contact them.
What about your baby?
My baby, I know I want to get my baby back, so I'm trying to work on stuff right now, excuse me, but my mom's got it right now, and I'm trying to work on stuff right now. It's just like a bad time, so to get my baby back. I mean, to do this, I just don't want to do it right now.
And we should tell you, we contacted police, told them we had the conversation with this mother. She decided that she's not going to turn herself in just yet. They want to speak with her. There are no charges pending at this time. They're just purely interested in speaking with her. We should also tell you, police told us they found drug paraphernalia. I asked her face-to-face, were you maybe under the influence of something at the time? And she denied it, of course. We'll be following the story, bringing you updates as we learn more. We're live. Silva Harapetian on Local 4. Hi, Devin. You know, it's a bit windy, so this camera moves a little bit, but I couldn't resist. I had to show you an eagle eye of how big this court was going to be. It's 28 by 45, and the man building it tells me he's going to have a college-size three-point, and the hoop's going to be right over there, and it is a dream come true for him, a nightmare for the guy next door. In this suburban neighborhood, basketball seems to be a very popular sport. Everywhere you look, hoops on garages, poles in driveways, basketball courts in backyards. That's why when Bruce Turner wanted to build a court in his Novi yard, he was stunned when his neighbors were against it.
I think this is a little bit too much. I've said that from the beginning. We want a basketball court. It's really that simple, and we don't think we should have gotten sued for it.
You heard right. Turner taken to court for wanting to build a court on his property. The Village Oaks Homeowners Association tried to stop him from building a court like this one. The association lost.
It's actually big enough so that I'll have a full-size college three-point line.
Now his neighbors are angry at Turner, and get this, at the city of Novi, because the city gave Turner a green light to build.
I respect what people want to do and their property. However, it's hard for me to swallow something that's going to be very intrusive to the whole neighborhood. And really, when it really comes down to the city not following their own ordinances.
We call the city of Novi. They tell me a permit has been granted to Turner to build because he's playing by city rules. The Homeowners Association is not satisfied.
I understand the neighbor's displeasure with it, but it's my property and we have the legal right to do so, and it's really not that big a deal.
He tells me it's all about his love for basketball and his 2 children. He says he's going to plant some trees around it to keep this private. We're live in Novi. Silva Harapetian, Local 4. Harvey up there. He is an artist here at the Ann Arbor Art Fair. He plans on taking some nude pictures here in Ann Arbor. Take a look. Police department out here to enforce the law. Take a look at what happened.
Somebody said last night he was going to get people together at 10 o'clock this morning, teach them how to drop their drawers really fast, take the picture from on top of the building at 12 o'clock, and that's what we were expecting to see.
With their cameras ready, the crowd waited anxiously as Harvey prepared to take his annual nude photo.
After 14 years of doing this every year at the art fair, I mean, what could possibly be the problem with all the support here?
Freedom of expression, he calls it, an artwork. This is the photo he took last year.
You have a fully nude person just walking among a bunch of clothed people, and I like the imagery.
Bearing it all may be exciting, but there would be no nude photos taken, not if the Ann Arbor Police Department has a say.
Ann Arbor Police Department is censoring art at the art fair.
Don't break tradition! Don't break tradition!
Personally, I get naked every day in the shower. It's really not that big a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but would you have done it in front of all those people that were standing around watching?
Well, there's usually 17 people in my shower with me, so let's see what the problem is.
Harvey's models walked into position, the crowd waiting anxiously, the police warning them, take it all off and you'll be cuffed.
About a minute before the shot, instead of not doing anything at all, we decided we were going to at least protest censorship.
I have plenty of plans this weekend, you know, big things, so couldn't spend the weekend in jail.
As it turns out, Harvey did it anyway. When the police weren't looking, he took the photo. Tradition lives on. Silva Harapetian, Local 4. This man from Franklin had a parachuting accident less than a year ago. They said he'd never walk. Well, take a look. He's dancing. Not only is he dancing, but he's taken what he's learned in this class into the rehab center, and he's helping improve the lives of other patients. Looking at him move, you'd never know Shiro broke his back less than a year ago. You'd never guess he has half a dozen screws and 2 rods in his back.
They didn't think I would be able to walk.
A former military parachuting instructor with more than 28 years of experience and 1,600 jumps under his belt, Shiro, formation diving from 14,000 feet, had a freak accident.
The impact was so great, they estimated at about 25 to 30 miles an hour drop. The lining of the spinal cord was ruptured as well, so the fluid, the cerebrospinal fluid was seeping out. To me, that was the miracle of this surgery, because without the fluid, there's nothing. You're done.
With a broken back and multiple other injuries, doctors did what they could, but they said he may never walk again. Shiro did not like that diagnosis and decided to figure out a way to take control of his recovery. He started small. He set up a stationary bike at home, went to physical therapy every day, but something was still missing.
There's no motivation. There's no happiness. There's no celebration of little wins.
That's when he made a connection to a hobby he'd only dabbled in before his accident.
Physical therapists say, move your hip this way, move your hip this way. And all of a sudden I hear Dwayne's voice in my ear echoing, move your hips this way, move your... It's like we have a match here.
The physical therapy reminded him of some of the salsa movements he'd learned in dance class. So he showed up at Energetic Soul Studios wearing a body and neck brace, holding a cane, hoping for a miracle.
And I was dancing like this.
His instructor, Dwayne, was stunned. He never expected to see him in class again.
So we kept on moving and kept on moving, so I kept challenging him.
Shiro's improvement so impressive here on the dance floor that it's taken him and Dwayne from the dance studio into the rehab center.
I feel that energy.
Within 6 months of his accident, not only was Shiro walking, he was training with a salsa dance group looking to compete nationally.
Shiro knew he was onto something.
Now I'm dropping the hips.
Shiro's idea quickly turned into a pilot program. Dwayne teamed up with Barbara Funk, who's an occupational therapist at the DMC Rehab Center in Novi. They created a pilot program that uses salsa movements. One twist, though, instead of trauma patients, Barbara felt this program would benefit her breast cancer patients the most.
Just sit into that hip. I see you, Carolyn.
There's so much seriousness that to have something light that involves music and movement, a freedom. I can't believe I'm doing salsa. It's so fun.
They were able to say, hey, you know, even though we're having a hard time, we have one more day to live.
Since I've taken this class, my hands are not as swollen.
Some of the patients say they've seen physical improvements, but the mental benefits, they say, outweighs any type of medicine.
It has given me such peace, and I know I can move and do the things for myself that I was not letting myself do before.
Once you have the motivation, nothing can stop you, really. No matter what it is, injury or anything in your life.
Shiro admits that he is in pain, but guess what? He says that's not going to stop him. In fact, he is expected to compete in the Ironman, if you can believe it or not. So it's all about mind over matter. I'm Silva Harapetian, Local 4.